Hey, it's Ted again, making up for lost time on Friday, sitting on the front porch. Remember the 47%, as usual and always. Remember the 1% who don't believe in fairy tales. There was an article on Dissident Voice, probably got passed around, I think, to a bunch of other websites, but I found it on Dissident Voice. It's called DissidentVoice.com. It's written by Mike Hyken and Luke Hyken. I guess they're brothers. Oh, Marty Hyken. Marty, maybe. I don't know. Is that? Anyway, whoever the hell they are. And it is called The Lesser of Two Evils Sucks. Dated November 15th, 2012. I have to agree. The lesser of two evils sucks. And that's all we've had in 100 years or so. It's been one party or the other, and both parties have been fucked up. They haven't been as close together as they are now, but they've been moving in that direction to be close together. And so it says, voting for a lesser of two evils? Why? The Democratic Party has moved so far to the right to capture the centrist voters that neither the Republicans nor the Democrats will ever represent the people and what's best for us. At this point, it is questionable whether there are any vestiges of democracy might be left in this country. Blah. Yeah. Accordingly, it says, rather than participating in electoral charade that we hold every few years in this country, it's time for people to identify a set of principles that are immutable and worthy of support. Principles mean much more than what any candidate says to get elected. These 11 principles are listed below. Okay, so this is what I wanted to get to. There are 11 principles. I'm on lists today. Lists. Lists. 11 principles. And I got to say, these are some great principles. Number one, support for a single-payer health care program is non-negotiable. Absolutely. They also say any candidate who waffles should not be supported. I agree. Like we're going to get that. The U.S. must withdraw all troops, including mercenaries, the so-called independent contractors, from the Middle East immediately. Well, I say not just the Middle East. I say all the way around the goddamn world. The U.S. should shut down the great majority of its foreign bases from throughout the world and stop acting as an imperial power. Bingo. I agree. The U.S. must outlaw the use of Obama's doctrine of drone warfare and torture, including Guantanamo Bay, as appropriate tactics. Renditions in drone warfare should not result in immunity for any U.S. soldier, politician, or mercenary who engages him. These are war crimes. I agree. The U.S. prison and jail populations immediately should be cut in half. Nonviolent prisoners, those incarcerated for drugs, prostitution, and alcoholism, should be dealt with via alternative institutions designed to modify behavior, not punish it, in the death penalty. Well, I don't know about the modify behavior part. Depends on how that's done. But yeah, you need to stop locking people up because they had a goddamn joint in their pocket. Tax the rich heavily. Well, we should tax the rich more. I don't know about heavily. I'm not in favor of a system where if somebody makes $50,000, we take half of it. No, you got to be reasonable. But yeah, tax the rich more. If we got rid of all the goddamn loopholes and we put like a 15 or 20% tax on people who earn over $500,000, $250,000, shit, the country would be rolling in dough. It would. The trickle-down theory is a lie. Yes, it is. And the rich easily can afford to pay more to support the country than anyone else, obviously. The tax codes need to be modified to get rid of corporate loopholes that insulate the rich from paying their fair share to support the government. The tax codes need to eliminate corporate welfare. Number 6, change the immigration laws to reflect the fact that no person is illegal. Undocumented workers who create so much of the wealth in this country should have the same opportunities to work in this society and be allowed to remain in the country. The concept of a fenced-in border should be eliminated. I'm not entirely in favor of that. I'm not. Because if we were a wealthy country, if we were actually what we used to be, actually the reality is that most Mexicans are going back home. A lot of them are not coming here anymore because there's an opportunity here like there used to be. But if we were a wealthy country with lots and lots of jobs, then the border would be flooded. And there needs to be a reasonable and legitimate way to allow people to come to this country that doesn't take 15 fucking years to allow them to come here and work. But, Canada has policies, and every other goddamn country has policies about people coming to work, just coming in the goddamn country. And we should have reasonable policies, too. But they should be reasonable. So I sort of disagree with that. And I don't like the term illegal because it has bad connotations. So I think I can go along with that. But, we should have a reasonable means of regulating our border. Number 7, limit and regulate police power so that police are not de facto invading armies in our communities. Police misconduct must be evaluated and prosecuted by forces outside, not inside the police department. Absolutely. The police have become belligerent bullies in this new world that we live in. And notice I didn't say a goddamn thing about order. It's a new world of disorder. All right, number 8, Citizens United must be overturned, and corporations must be regulated and controlled by the government. The fiction that corporations are people is nonsense. Abso-fucking-lutely, I agree with that. Abortion, birth control, and women's rights to seek medical care must be a federal right and not one the states can abolish. I'll go along with that, too. But we have to have something to go along with that also. We need to have some responsibility taught in schools. And we need to change the way children are brought up so that they don't, fuck like rabbits because they can always run down and get an abortion because that's not fair either. I don't like that idea either. Climate control must be made an economic and educational priority. Absolutely. The government should provide free and quality education for all our children through college as well as job opportunities. I'll go along with that. And those were the 11. It says, is it any surprise the Republican Party has become so right-wing that no Democratic Party candidate will ever be the greater of two evils? I don't know. So, that's like saying there's a conspiracy to make the right wing look so fucked up that the only option is the left wing, the Democrats, which are also fucked up. I don't know if it's all that big of a plan or not. I think it's just the right wings have taken over the Republican Party, or they'd be so goddamn close they really wouldn't be any choice. And that was the thing, it was the right wing nutcases that cost Romney the shit the election. It was the idiots, that made the statements about rape, and it was his disdain for the 47%. It was a lot of fucking things that had nothing to do with policies. It really was. So, that's the end of those questions. Comments. I agree with all of them, except that I think our border should be regulated. I don't think it should just be an open field where people just take off across at any time. That's dangerous and unhealthy for our economy and our society, especially now. Shit, who wants to open the fucking border up with those damn gangs over there? They'd own South Texas. They already own too much of it. So, no, we can't have a completely open border. We ought to have a way. But it should be fair and equitable. So that's the answer to those. That's on Dissident Voice, dissidentvoice.org. It's called The Lesser of Two Evils by Marty Hyken and Luke Hyken. Put on there November 15th, 2012. Look it up and see what you think. And that's in this video. All right. Thank you.